This is question 6 of the evaluation question. What have you learned about technologies from the process of constructing this product? The film process has been difficult, especially as because it's my first time doing media. There's many different things you need to know and implement within your recording in order for it to get a good grade. So things like rules had to be we had to abide by the rules too. Some of them were like the 180 degrees rule, the 180-degree rule, which was needed to be implemented correctly. So you can only, when you're having a conversation, the camera can only be on the 180-degree side. It can't switch sides because then it doesn't look right. Without expensive equipment, it's hard to film a proper professional piece. For example, we didn't have the most expensive editing software. We had to get used to the buttons of the camera, because the cameraman needed sometimes the cameraman needed the focus to be blurry, and sometimes he needed it to be really clear. For example, when the protagonist woke up, that had to be all clear and focused. But then when we done a POV shot of what it looks like from his point of view when he's looking through the kitchen, we needed it to be blurry, so we had to unfocus it, and so that the audience knows that this is a POV shot and he's seeing things blurry. When we realized that we couldn't use background sounds off the internet, we got a bit panicky at first. But then, in lesson we went through Foley sounds. So the background noise we made, the Foley sounds we made were the women crying, the police sirens. Also, towards the end, when we had a voicemail, we actually recorded the actual voicemail from a mobile phone. So we had James ring my phone, and he left a voicemail. Then that voicemail was played out loud, and it was recorded on a microphone, turned into an MP3, and then we put it in at the end of the 4 seconds film opening. When it came to recording the scenes, we had to have like a 10-second gap at the beginning and at the end, because when we edited, when you added a transition at the beginning or at the end of the cut, either 10 seconds, not 10 seconds, but a certain amount of seconds would get cut off when the transition was added. And so when we recorded each little shot that we recorded at the house, at the setting, we made sure that there was a 10-second at the beginning and there was an extra 10 seconds at the end, so that when we edited, it would all fit into one. We used cameras and tripods. Cameras were used to record the whole film opening. We used GarageBand to edit and edit the Foley sounds, and put the Foley sounds in and share them as MP3s. We used iMovie to edit the whole film opening. We use Final Cut Pro to adjust the hue and saturation and the sharpness of the video, just so that it gives it that good quality. Generally, we used iMovie because it was much easier and the interface was easy to use. Also, I've edited videos before, so using iMovie, so I was really used to using iMovie, and because I was the editor, I thought I might as well use iMovie, seeing that I'm used to it, so that it helps me edit and that I'm not learning a new software, because that would be time consuming. To create our media product, we use cameras to record and edit software and to edit our whole film opening. We used SD cards and USBs to transfer the recorded clips. The USB also had all the versions of the film openings, because we had a few versions, some of the good ones, some of the bad ones, and so we had a lot of film openings, so we had to get them all in one place, and so we used the USB for that. To share files, we uploaded them to OneDrive. So out of the 4 of us, one person had a OneDrive, which was mine, and then I just gave everyone the password so everyone could put videos in and have access, and everyone could have access to it. We used YouTube, so we upload it, the other person can view it, download it, and then have a copy for themselves. We added digital effects on the woman crying at the beginning of the extract. We added echo so that it emphasizes that she was in a room with the doctor when he told her that her son's head had been hit really hard, and so you could hear that echo in the background. We also added echo to the doctor, seeing that we added echo to the women because they were in the same room, so they're gonna have the same surroundings. So we had to add echo to the doctor as well. Then towards the end, when we had the voicemail, we had to add a bit of distortion and echo so that it emphasized the voicemail. The problem with that was when we did add a little distortion, some of the words that was being said by the character that we recorded was not able to be heard, and it was the main part. It was the part where he's like, you haven't been to work for a few weeks, and the audience needs to know that so that they can understand that he hasn't been to work for a few weeks. So clearly he's been in a coma. So this is to emphasize it. So we had to find a way so that we could distort the clip, but we could also make sure that everything was being heard. All this distortion and adding echo and reverb, this was all done on GarageBand, as I've used GarageBand before for music GCSE. So because I was an editor, I was used to that, so I ended up using that. Our work was published on the internet via Blogger and YouTube. This was so that it added clips to our YouTube channel to show how we gradually went from bad versions of our film opening to getting better and better and better as we got feedback from our teachers, and also to show that as a company we've uploaded many videos as Shady Entertainment. All we had to do was plug in our USB and then drag the file into YouTube upload, and it uploaded, it processed. You add all your details, your name, your description, if you want to make it public or private, and then you literally just click publish. And then to add it to Blogger, you have to go to YouTube and find the embedded link, copy that embedded link, open Blogger, click on new post, and then you click on HTML and add the embedded link, and literally just press publish, and then it would have uploaded on Blogger, so people on YouTube can see it, and also our teachers can see it on Blogger. Overall, I've learned that technologies are really hard to work around and really time consuming, because you have to get to know the features of it, get to know the context of it, how to use it, how not to use it, what rules are there. However, it's good when you want to share your work to groups and to teachers and to public. Most editing software is expensive. However, we did use iMovie. The good thing was it was free, but the negative points were that because it's free, there's not as much editing. It's not as professional as you would like it to be, but we worked around that. It looked as professional as possible. Nevertheless, we got the whole recording done. We edited it and we've published it and now finished it. So, yeah.